Today we have on Dick Bjork. We've had the pleasure of having Dick at Sherman for just over 4 years now. And before that, he owned his own custom cabinetry business. So how did you get into cabinetry?
I graduated from college in 1985 and started working for a temporary help agency. There was not much going on as far as the job market. It was really bad at that time.
So you graduated college in 1985. When did you graduate high school? 1970?
81.
81?
81,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. And then did my 4-year thing. I had a sociology degree.
No kidding.
And completed the legal studies program, which was another major. But it allowed, because Hamlin had a law school, it allowed you to take a year off of college or year off of law school.
Yeah.
Shorten it by that. But I had a lot of friends that were in the law school and realized it probably wasn't the best career for me.
Because of the friends? You were like, those friends can go be lawyers. I'm going to go do something healthier.
Yeah. After I graduated, the job market was horrible for lawyers. And I decided I wasn't going to commit to law school. And started working for a temporary help agency, interviewing people for jobs and placement, and did that for a year, and then couldn't stand sitting at a desk anymore, making phone calls, and decided the company that I was working for, a friend's family owned, and they were going to expand, and so they had some offices that they wanted to remodel, and I asked if I could do it, and they said yes, and I started remodeling offices and started doing carpentry, kind of learning as I went. I had done some at home, but not a ton. And just kind of went from there, started doing more remodeling and got general contractor's license, and then eventually started woodbound carpentry and construction.
Man, that's crazy. To think that you started from not really knowing anything, and then all of a sudden you're building custom cabinets, Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, that was a job that came about that got us started in cabinetry, and I ended up hooking up with an individual who became my business partner. Dennis was his name, and we did the construction thing for a while.
Yeah.
And then got into the cabinetry end of it because we thought it was something we could do longer in our career rather than construction, which was hard on the body.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you guys make sure that you stood out? Because I would assume that there's a lot of cabinet places in the cities.
Well, we had a couple of companies that were doing big scale projects. One was a dental studio that had 50 employees, and they needed workstations for that. And through a link through somebody we knew, we ended up getting that job, and then it just started going from there, and did more and more cabinetry, and kind of pushed it from there.
Yeah. So it's definitely about who you know, not. I mean,
certainly the early connections make a big difference. Yeah.
But then you need to know how to do it. Once you actually get the job, so you can make sure you're.
And we were self-taught at that point too. My business partner had done some cabinetry with his brother.
Okay.
And so I hadn't really done much cabinetry at that point, but we kind of developed the procedural things on our own and went from there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's so cool. Mm-hmm. What did owning your own business teach you about yourself?
That we're not very good at running a business. I mean, I think a lot of people have an idea and something that they enjoy, but it takes so much more to be in business and be profitable and to expand the business when you need to expand it. And we were both very conservative business people, not big risk takers.
Yeah.
And that probably was our downfall from getting to a lot higher level, was just unwillingness. We got comfortable in a certain size, and then there was a reluctance to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you wanted to kind of have your fingers in everything, and wanted to make sure that your quality or your stamp was on everything, and that you made sure of it. So
yeah. And then the other issue was, well, it wasn't an issue, but both of us were about the same age, and we started having a family at about the same time. So we were kind of in the same boat with kids and daycare and
life,
and so busy, it was easy to have understanding from the other partner, but it didn't help with our overall goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense. What advice would you give to somebody who was starting their own business?
I think really to seek out a business professional. Our CPA tried on a number of occasions to get us to venture into expand a bit or do some targeted things that would have helped grow the business. And we were reluctant to take the advice. And I would definitely, you need a business person besides the crafty people. I think it's rare that you get people that are both.
Yeah. And was it a challenge to try and figure out like a work-life balance, especially because, I mean, you're an owner, you know?
Yeah. Well, and the other issue was there wasn't an issue, I guess, again, but it was that I lived very close to the shop, like a mile away at the time. So it was easy to go down there on weekends and evenings and stuff like that. And
lose track of time.
Yeah, lose track of time and your kind of your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you still critique people's cabinets when you go into their houses?
You know, I'm not really that judgmental. I was always amazed at when you'd go into a bar, you know, a bar restaurant, how crude and rough all the trim could be because the ceiling was painted black or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's not that much fit and finish to it. And I'm always surprised, but I cut people slack. It's expensive to do a fantastic kitchen, and we were lucky to do a lot of those for people over the years. And it was fun to see them recognize their dream. Some people want a pole building, but some people want a gourmet kitchen or a really fabulous kitchen. And it's something that's become a huge part of daily life. It's just
certainly
the kitchen is where everybody is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is it that you do here at Sherman now?
Kind of a lot of different special projects, just to help move things along and deal a lot with the power tool purchasing and distribution to the work crews. Also check all the tooling and stuff out in the wood shops and help make decisions with production machinery. But kind of a wide variety of things. And then I also build specialty products like the Envision trims and different overhangs and stuff like that. Features, I guess, for the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of our inventor, in-house inventor.
Sort of, yeah. And early on was an implementer of Steve's ideas. Steve had tons of different ideas he wanted to flesh out, and so I would help flesh out the idea and add some tweaks to it as well.
And your attention to detail, where other people like in the company might not have that as much, so that was always really helpful.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just having a different approach. And I think that's one of the valuable things I learned here was how different employees have different backgrounds and they can bring so much it might not seem related to the projects that we're building. But at the same time, there's a lot of different ways to go about doing something. And I think those having those varied approaches really validates having a diverse employee pool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then, you know, the time that it takes for you to figure out the ways not to do something, you know, because, you know, you'd love to tell the guys, oh, we're going to switch it up and do this. And it's like, then they have to take 20 minutes to try and figure out how they should do it. At least you can kind of figure out a process, which is super good.
And hopefully your experience will bring, you've been there, done that kind of thing where you can tell that an approach is not going to be effective.
Exactly.
And save some time and hopefully fingers.
Yeah. So what do you think is more important, a sharp pencil or a sharp blade?
I think they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I think they really, in order to be able to use the best equipment and have the best equipment, you need to have a sharp pencil and keep things under control financially.
A true craftsman's response. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you think if you could assign yourself like one tool to describe, you know, how you work and how you do, what would you consider yourself? Are you
I thought about that. I thought about that quite a bit. I'm definitely not a hammer. I think I'm more a level.
Yeah.
Just kind of mediating, taking the middle road, which might be boring, but it doesn't seem to, you know, it seems to be more saleable if you're in the middle of the road. And it's just kind of my personality being a Scandinavian, not too emotional. I would say a level.
Yeah, definitely.
On the level.
And I wonder how that transfers over to your running, because you are a hardcore runner. What got you into running?
Well, in high school, we had gym class the first year of high school, and we were running the mile for gym class. And I ran the mile and ran like a 5-minute mile and hadn't been running.
And everybody was like, whoa.
And, well, I had recently joined the track team as a sprinter. And the coach, who was the track coach at the time, said, he's like, you're going to be running the mile. So I switched to the mile and the 2-mile and had a lot of success at that. And then from there, just loved running, loved cross country, ran cross country through high school. When I got to college, I didn't run because we had such a hardcore high school program that I didn't think I could do college and run for the college at that level and survive it. So I just continued to run and always ran, maybe weekly and stuff, but different busy periods of life with young kids and stuff, didn't run as much. And then started to get picked a race in like 2007, I want to say, that was a 50K, which is 31 miles on the Superior Hiking Trail. And that was kind of my introduction to the longer running. And from there, did several 50s and several hundreds. And yeah, it was just a really good fit. I loved it. I love being in the woods.
Yeah, that is so
the trails.
Cool.
Did you ever run that you're most proud of?
I'd say probably my first 100. It was such a big jump from a 50 that I'd run previously. I'd run 5 50s. But in your head, just deal with the fact that you're going to be running twice as far.
Yeah.
Seems unfathomable.
And at what age did you start the 50-miler?
In my 40s.
In your 40s, yeah. So that's great.
My 40s.
So,
I got into that.
Yeah.
Still hope out there for me.
It's amazing what your mind can do. Your body is capable of an incredible amount. It's just a matter of convincing yourself that you can do it mentally. So it's really a strong, both physical game and a mental game. But I think the mental game is almost more important than the physical game.
Certainly.
Does that levelness that you talked about, that level-headedness, have anything to do with it? Where you're like, okay, I don't need to just like sprint. I need to like stay at a level pace for this whole
I mean,
thing.
getting to know yourself and know how to pace. One thing I've noticed is in these longer races, women are incredibly good at metering themselves out and not, it's really disastrous if you go out too fast.
The man's
in a
ego
long
might
race.
take over a little bit and be like, I'm going to get ahead. Yeah.
For sure. They feeling great and you got the adrenaline burst and off you go, and then you see it's a suffer-fest later on if you overdo it in a long race.
Yeah,
but it's been a real escape for me and something that for what I've put into it training-wise and stuff, always got a lot of returns from it. So it was my go-to sport hobby.
Yeah, that's so cool. I've told the story before, but I ran a 5K once, and I ran it with my wife, and the idea was we were going to run until the pack kind of took off, and then we were going to start walking.
Okay.
And she told me, let's just keep running. And then all of a sudden, the whole time, I ran the entire thing, and I hadn't trained at all.
Sure.
And, she was the one that was pushing me, not myself. I would have quit 10 steps after the start line, or something. But, that's the one thing that I think is just incredible, that you can push yourself, because there's no one else out there that there's other people running, but man.
It's a very individual sport, but it's incredibly important to have the support of your family and stuff with it too. And in the longer races, the 100-mile races, you're able to have a pacer after 50 or 60 miles that runs with you.
Yeah.
And my son has on a couple of them, and it's really incredible as you run through the night and stuff to have somebody with you.
That's so cool.
No kidding.
So cool. Yeah. So what we'd like to do is kind of would you rather towards the end of the episode. So would you rather have to run an ultra marathon in steel-toed boots or build a cabinet using only kitchen utensils?
Yeah, I think I'd take the ultra marathon.
Oh man,
I think I would.
Well, that's another level of challenge to it,
Yeah, definitely.
It would certainly be a challenge.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, another one. Would you rather never get a blister again or never get a splinter again?
I'd rather get a blister.
You rather get a blister than a
because
splinter?
it means I'm probably doing some running or something like that.
It means you're doing something you want, and the pain is just going to come with it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. It was so nice to hear about how you got into your beautiful skill of creating cabinetry and woodworking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, you're a true craftsman, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Dick.
Yeah.